7 things that are a waste of time after 50 Stoicism. After 50, wasting time is not just inconvenient. It is the one mistake you genuinely cannot afford to keep making. Not because 50 is old. The Stoics would be the first to reject that diminishing, culturally constructed narrative. But because after 50, most people have lived long enough to know, with a clarity that younger people simply do not yet possess, exactly what genuine living feels like, and exactly how much of their precious time has been spent on things that were never worth it. Today we are naming those things. Specifically, honestly, without the softening that politeness usually demands and that genuine wisdom cannot afford. 7 things, each one a category of time investment that the Stoics identified, across their combined centuries of philosophical observation, as fundamentally incompatible with the genuine, examined, fully alive life that every person over 50 has both the capacity and the urgent right to be living right now. This is not a video about regret. The Stoics had no patience for the kind of backward-looking grief that produces nothing useful. This is a video about the present moment and the choice, available to you right now, today, before this video ends, to redirect the time that remains toward what is genuinely worth it. Because after 50, you know the difference. You have always known. The question is whether you are finally ready to act on what you know. If you are new to this channel, welcome. We explore Stoic philosophy and human psychology and bring both directly into the real texture of your life. This channel is built for people who are serious about the examined life at every age. Subscribe right now and hit the bell notification. We release these videos regularly, and every single one is built for people who want to understand themselves and live deliberately. Subscribe now. Let us begin. Waste 1. Trying to prove yourself to people who will never acknowledge you. The first waste of time after 50 is the one that has probably consumed more of your energy than any other item on this list. And it is the one that most people recognize immediately when it is named clearly. Trying to prove yourself to people who will never acknowledge you. The critical parent whose standard has never been met and will never be met regardless of what you achieve. The colleague whose respect you have been trying to earn for years through increasingly impressive performance that they note without ever genuinely offering. The sibling or friend whose approval arrives, if it arrives at all, in forms so qualified and so conditional that receiving it costs more than not receiving it. The Stoics had a specific and precise diagnosis for the pattern of seeking approval from sources that have demonstrated, through consistent behavior across significant time, that the approval you are seeking is not available from them. They called it the corruption of desire, the direction of your deepest wanting toward things that are fundamentally outside your control. Because another person's acknowledgement, their genuine, freely given, unconditional recognition of your worth, is not in your control. It has never been. And the energy spent pursuing it from sources that have already shown you it will not come as energy that could have been, and must now be, directed elsewhere. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinion of others." After 50, this observation is not just philosophical. It is a personal reckoning. How much of the life so far has been organized around the project of earning acknowledgement from specific people who were never going to freely give it? How much energy, how much creative output, how much genuine self-expression was shaped or suppressed by the ongoing attempt to be seen and valued by someone whose seeing and valuing was always going to be insufficient? The Stoic practice for releasing this waste is the practice of self-witnessing. The gradual, daily development of the capacity to be your own primary witness, to evaluate your choices, your character, your effort, not through the eyes of the person whose acknowledgement you have been seeking, but through the honest, philosophical, genuinely informed eyes of your own self-knowledge. After 50, you have enough self-knowledge. You have enough experience. You have enough accumulated evidence about your own genuine character and your own genuine worth to stop outsourcing that assessment to people who have demonstrated they will not do it justice. Stop trying to prove yourself to people who will never acknowledge you. The time you recover from that release is yours. Finally, and completely yours. Waste 2. Maintaining relationships that have been empty for years. The second waste of time after 50 requires more courage to name than the first, because it involves not a distant, difficult person whose approval you have been chasing, but people who are present in your daily life. People you call friends. People you make time for. People you have been loyal to across years and sometimes decades. Maintaining relationships that have been empty for years. Not relationships in genuine difficulty. Those deserve the Stoic investment of honest engagement and philosophical repair. Not relationships going through a hard season. Those deserve patience and genuine presence. Relationships that have been empty for years. The friendship where the depth was never really there or where it disappeared long ago, and what remains is habit and history and the social inertia of people who have known each other too long to do the honest accounting of whether the connection still serves either of them. The Stoics were precise about this. They understood that relationships, like all living things, require specific conditions to remain genuinely alive. Mutual genuine interest, real honesty, the willingness to be truly known and to truly know. The actual presence of something being offered and received that is worth the time and the emotional investment of both people. When those conditions have been absent for years, when the meeting is obligation rather than genuine desire, when the conversation is surface performance rather than real exchange, when you leave feeling more depleted than enriched, the Stoic question is direct and uncomfortable. Why are you still maintaining this? Almost always the answer involves one of two things: the fear of the social discomfort of allowing it to end, or the guilt of withdrawing from someone who has been present in your life for a long time, regardless of the quality of that presence. Neither of these is a sufficient reason after 50, because after 50, the arithmetic of time has changed irrevocably. The hours in a week are finite. The years available to you are fewer than the years behind you. And every hour spent in a relationship that is genuinely empty is an hour taken from a relationship that is, or could be, genuinely full. The Stoic practice here is not cruelty. It is not the dramatic ending of relationships that have historical significance. It is the honest, gradual, compassionate reallocation of your genuine time and your genuine energy toward the connections that are genuinely alive, that genuinely nourish, that genuinely leave you more present and more yourself than before. After 50, life is too short for empty rooms. Fill yours with people who are actually there. Waste 3. Worrying about what people think of you. The third waste of time is the one that the Stoics addressed more consistently and more directly than perhaps any other human tendency. And it is the one that, after 50, has the most staggering accumulated cost when you genuinely calculate what it has taken from you. Worrying about what people think of you, not the legitimate, philosophical consideration of how your actions affect others. That is the Stoic virtue of justice, and it deserves its full weight. But the reflexive, habitual, energy-consuming anxiety about whether you are being perceived correctly, whether your choices are being judged favorably, whether the impression you are making in this moment is the right one, whether the people around you approve of the life you are living. Epictetus said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." And in the domain of other people's opinions, most people over 50 think they already know that those opinions matter enormously. They have been operating as if they do for so long that the operating has become automatic. They no longer question whether the opinions of others genuinely deserve the weight being given to them. Here is the Stoic calculation. How many times in your life has someone else's opinion of you, not their genuine feedback offered with care and with knowledge of your actual situation, but the casual, uninformed, often unconscious judgment of people who do not know your full story and have not earned the right to evaluate it. How many times has that opinion actually helped you? Actually made you better? Actually produced anything worth the anxiety it cost? Almost never. The Stoic observation across centuries of human experience is consistent. The opinion of the crowd is almost never useful. It is almost never accurate. It is almost never informed by the full complexity of the person being judged, and it changes with the speed and the reliability of weather, in ways that make orienting your life around it one of the most destabilizing and most exhausting projects a person can undertake. After 50, the practice is release. The daily, deliberate, philosophically grounded release of the anxiety about being correctly perceived. The redirecting of that energy, all of it, every unit that was being spent on the management of other people's impressions, toward the genuine living of the life that your values and your self-knowledge tell you is worth living. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." And to that, the post-50 Stoic adds, "Never let the opinion of the crowd disturb you. It was never worth what you paid for it, and it will never be." Waste 4. Postponing the life you actually want to live. The fourth waste of time after 50 is the one with the most serious philosophical consequences. And it is the one that the Stoics would address with the most direct and most urgent language available to them. Postponing the life you actually want to live. The trip that has been planned and replanned and planned again for decades, waiting for the right moment that the right moment keeps failing to become. The creative work that was always going to begin when the children were grown, when the career was established, when the financial situation was more stable, when the time was finally right. The relationship with yourself, the genuine, philosophical, deeply personal relationship with your own inner life and your own deepest values, that was always going to be cultivated when things were less busy. The things have been less busy for years, and the life is still waiting. Seneca wrote words that, after 50, carry a weight that they cannot carry at 25. He wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a great deal of it." And further, "Nothing is ours except time." After 50, these sentences are not philosophical observations. They are personal accountings. The question they demand is not comfortable. How much of the time so far has been spent waiting for the conditions to be right for the genuine life to begin? How many years were organized around the project of eventually arriving at the life that was always waiting on the other side of the next threshold? And the follow-up question, the one that the Stoics would press with characteristic directness, is this: what makes you believe the conditions will become more right later? What is the specific future circumstance that will finally make the genuine life possible that the present circumstance does not? In almost every case, honest examination reveals the answer. There is no such circumstance. The conditions will not suddenly become more favorable. The right moment is a philosophical fiction that the fear of actually beginning has been using to justify the continuing postponement. The Stoic practice after 50 is the practice of beginning. Not perfectly, not when everything is ready. Now, with the specific, unrepeatable, genuinely available resources of this specific present moment in your specific actual life. The trip, begin it. The creative work, begin it. The relationship with your own inner life, begin it. Today, not when the conditions improve. Today, in the conditions that are actually here. After 50, beginning is the most radical and most important act available to you. And postponement is the one waste you genuinely cannot afford. Waste 5. Carrying grudges that are heavier than the person who caused them. The fifth waste of time is the one that costs the most in terms of the inner life. And it is the one that the Stoics addressed with perhaps the most philosophical sophistication of any item on this list. carrying grudges that are heavier than the person who caused them. You know the grudge. You have been carrying it long enough that it has become part of the furniture of your inner life. You barely notice it most of the time. And then something, a name, a place, a specific quality of light on a specific kind of afternoon, brings it back with a vividness and a weight that tells you it has not gone anywhere, that you have been carrying it all along, that it is using energy you did not consciously authorize it to use. The Stoics were not naive about genuine wrongdoing. They were not asking you to pretend that the person who hurt you did not hurt you. The harm was real. The injustice was real. The wound was real. But they made an observation about sustained grudges that is one of the most practically important observations in the entire Stoic corpus. Holding a grudge punishes you, not primarily the person who caused it. You, the person who wronged you, in most cases, at this distance of time, is living their life. They may not be thinking about you. They may have forgotten the specific event that you have been carrying for years. They may have changed significantly from the person who caused the harm, or they may not have changed at all. But in either case, your ongoing grudge is not affecting their daily experience with anything like the force with which it is affecting yours. The Stoics called this self-inflicted suffering. The decision, and it is a decision, however unconscious, to allow a past injury to continue consuming present energy, to keep a wound open that could, with genuine philosophical engagement, be allowed to close. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." After 50, the Stoic practice with grudges is not forgiveness in the sentimental sense. It is not the performance of peace with something you have not actually made peace with. It is the honest, philosophical examination of the cost, the genuine accounting of what the grudge is taking from you, the clarity about whether the sustained carrying of it serves anything genuine in your life at this point. In almost every case, it does not. It serves the past. It does not serve the present. And after 50, the present is where the genuine life is happening. Put it down. Not for them. For yourself. For the inner space that the laying down of it creates. For the energy that returns when the weight is finally released. After 50, you have carried it long enough. Waste 6. Chasing things that other people convinced you that you wanted. The sixth waste of time after 50 is perhaps the most philosophically complex, and it is the one that requires the most honest examination to identify clearly, because the things in this category do not always feel like they belong here. They often feel like genuine desires, like things you genuinely want, like legitimate goals, until you examine where they actually came from. Chasing things that other people convinced you that you wanted. The Stoics made a distinction that cuts right to the heart of this waste. They distinguished between desires that emerge from your genuine rational nature, from the deepest, most authentic level of your own values and your own understanding of what a good human life looks like, and desires that have been absorbed from outside, from the culture, from the social environment, from the comparison with peers that the ego has been running constantly and quietly for decades. After 50, the examination of this distinction can produce some genuinely surprising and sometimes genuinely uncomfortable results. The professional achievement you pursued for 30 years, did it come from your genuine values or from what your family of origin convinced you success looked like? The lifestyle markers you have been working toward, the house, the car, the neighborhood, the social positioning. Do these reflect what you genuinely believe constitutes a good life, or do they reflect the ambient cultural messaging of the specific socioeconomic environment you move through? The Stoics are not asking you to renounce ambition or achievement. They were not, as a rule, advocates of material deprivation. What they are asking, with the precision and the courage that genuine philosophy requires, is whether you have ever actually examined the source of what you are chasing. Because the person who chases a genuinely chosen desire, one that has been examined and found to be authentically theirs, is doing something entirely different from the person who chases an inherited desire without ever questioning whether the inheritance was worth accepting. After 50, the examination is urgent, because the time available for chasing things is finite. And the things genuinely worth chasing, the ones that are actually yours, that actually align with your actual values, that will actually produce the genuine quality of life your rational nature is asking for, those things deserve the undivided investment of the years that remain. Examine what you are chasing. Ask honestly where it came from, and redirect ruthlessly toward the things that survive the examination. Those things are worth everything. The things that do not survive it were never worth anything. Waste 7. Neglecting your inner life for the comfort of constant distraction. The seventh and final waste of time after 50 is the one that underlies all the others. The one that makes the other 6 possible. The one that the Stoics would name as the most fundamental waste available to a human being at any age, but that becomes, after 50, with the perspective and the urgency that genuine experience produces, the most inexcusable. Neglecting your inner life for the comfort of constant distraction. You know what this looks like. The television that is on not because you are genuinely watching it, but because the silence is uncomfortable. The phone that is checked not because you are expecting something, but because the unstructured moment feels like it needs to be filled. The busyness that is maintained not because the tasks are genuinely important, but because being busy provides a structure that prevents the inner life from becoming loud enough to require attention. After 50, most people have developed a sophisticated and largely unconscious set of strategies for avoiding the specific quality of inner quiet that genuine self-examination requires. And the strategies are so well established, so socially acceptable, so culturally reinforced, that they rarely even feel like avoidance. They feel like normal life. The Stoics would look at this pattern with characteristic directness and say, you are wasting the one thing that genuinely matters. The inner life, the examined self, the rational nature that is your most fundamental human endowment and your most irreplaceable resource. You are trading it for the cheap, immediately available, consistently unsatisfying comfort of distraction. And you are doing this at exactly the point in your life when the inner life has the most to offer, when the years of experience have accumulated into genuine wisdom, genuine perspective, genuine self-knowledge. If only you would stop running from it long enough to receive what it is trying to give you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Go into yourself as much as you can." That instruction is simple. It is not easy. The inner life that awaits the person who genuinely stops running from it is not always comfortable. It contains the unresolved relationships and the unlived possibilities and the honest accounting of the time spent and the time remaining that the distraction has been successfully preventing. But it also contains everything else. The genuine wisdom that the years have built. The clarity about what genuinely matters that only genuine experience can produce. The specific quality of peace, not the absence of difficulty, but the presence of genuine self-knowledge. That is the birthright of every human being who is willing to stop long enough to claim it. After 50, the inner life is not asking for a grand philosophical commitment. It is asking for 15 minutes of genuine silence. One morning of real stillness. One evening of honest examination instead of the default distraction. Give it that, and then give it more. Because what you find when you genuinely stop running is not what the avoidance was afraid of. It is the genuine self. Finally, fully available to be known. And knowing it, really knowing it, with the full philosophical honesty and the full Stoic practice behind it, is the most worthwhile thing available to you in the years that remain. 7 things, each one a genuine waste of the genuinely precious time that remains after 50. Trying to prove yourself to people who will never acknowledge you. Maintaining relationships that have been empty for years. Worrying about what people think of you. Postponing the life you actually want to live. Carrying grudges heavier than the people who caused them. chasing things that other people convinced you that you wanted, and neglecting the inner life for the comfort of constant distraction. The Stoics identified every one of these wastes. They named them clearly. They practiced releasing them with the same consistency and the same philosophical seriousness they brought to every other dimension of the examined life. And what they found on the other side of the releasing, what every person who genuinely engages with this practice finds, is not emptiness. It is space. The specific, genuine, philosophically rich space of a life that has been cleared of what was never worth it. And in that space, finally, is room for everything that is. The relationships that are genuinely alive. The creative work that has been waiting. The inner life that has been knocking. The genuine wisdom that the years have built and that deserves, in the time that remains, to be fully inhabited and fully expressed. After 50, you know what matters. You have always known. The only question is whether you are ready to live as if you know it. Today is the right moment to begin. If this video gave you something real, if it named something you have been carrying that deserves to be put down, something you have been avoiding that deserves to be begun, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment below telling me which of the 7 wastes you are releasing today and what that releasing makes possible in the life you are choosing. I read every single comment, and I genuinely mean that. Subscribe to this channel right now if you have not already. Hit the bell notification. We release deep Stoic content regularly, and every video is built for people who are serious about the examined life at every age and every stage. 3 seconds. Subscribe now. After 50, time is not running out. It is becoming more real. Use it accordingly. Thank you for being here. Take care of your minds. See you in the next one.